Hey, thanks for stopping by the channel. Here we talk about fitness, finance, and mindset. And in this video, I wanted to show you the exact steps I took to go from broke to over $400,000 in net worth. I'm gonna show you all the strategies I personally use. All I wanna do here is to show you how I did it, so you may be able to take some key takeaways to then implement and start to spiral your life into increasing your net worth so you can get closer and closer to financial independence or financial freedom. I have a huge passion for finance. I am really interested in making sure that I have enough money to live the lifestyle and have the freedom that I'd like. So that it starts with automating savings and investing. Here we're gonna go through my journey. Bear with me, this might be a two-part video. First part is gonna be my whole story. There's a lot of key lessons we can learn here of the steps I took, how I invested in myself. And the second video is gonna be all the numbers and going through the exact strategies I personally use to explode my wealth from essentially $0 in school in university to 3.5 years later, over $400,000. Just before we get things started, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have any certifications or formal education on the topics I'm about to discuss. This information is all for entertainment purposes only. Here is my net worth when I began tracking it. So I began tracking my net worth in a spreadsheet each month, January 2017. And I had $3,600 to my name. This is when I was in university taking human kinetics at the University of Guelph. And I was spending money on partying, doing normal things, paying for books, paying for the schooling. And I had $3,600 to my name. That's when it began. Now, I personally ran my online coaching business when I was in school. So again, I was helping students by making custom meal plans and custom training programs. I learned this skill when I was 16, 17 years old because I became obsessed with the human body. So I didn't like how I was so skinny and I was so self-conscious. I wanted to build some muscle. So every day after school in high school, I would research to learn more about the human body so I could accelerate my own progress. When I began to learn so much, my friends would come to me for help and I would make programs for my friends for free. This is when I'm 17 years old. Then I became a personal trainer, certified trainer, did some co-ops, and I went to college for that specific program. I competed in a men's physique competition when I was 19. So I was known on the campus as the fitness guy. My online coaching business naturally started. I was creating custom meal plans and custom training programs for people while I was in college when I was 19 years old. I was charging $50 per plan, $100 per plan. And it started to grow from there. And I was in school earning about $1,000 a month from my online business. Then I got a second job as a promotions worker. So I was promoting for the school bar to earn an extra $1,000 a month. It was $500 every 2 weeks, where I would go around campus and promote the activities. I'd have to approach people. And I got this job because I was always shy and kept to myself. So I wanted to step out of my comfort zone because I knew that the key for me to become successful in the future is to become comfortable with the things I'm uncomfortable with. I knew I needed to step outside of my comfort zone. So I was actively seeking ways to do this. I would purposely try to approach girls and just get their name or introduce myself. Why? Because I was afraid of it. I was afraid of approaching new people when I was 19, 20. So I did this so often that the fear exposing myself to these scenarios so often became so much easier. And I became very good at talking to people and meeting people. So that's just one of the key lessons that put me on this path. I focused on being uncomfortable. I learned a skill. So we need to learn a skill. I was uncomfortable. And doing these things allowed me to increase my income. So I was earning $2,000 a month while I was in school, in college. And I was about 19 years old. This is like 2016. So you see my net worth here as it's going up. And the chart here, I'm now at 413,000 if we clock in the June month. That just goes to May. And this big spike comes from investing. So this earlier phase is me saving. I'm going to show you as we go next. I'm saving every single week automatically. I'm increasing my income. I'm building new skills. I get out of school around right here. Okay. This is when I decided I'm not going back to school. End of 2017. I decided I'm going to take 1 year off of school and just see if I can grow my business, because I couldn't take on any more clients when I was in school because the workload became too much. So I was earning that $2,000 a month, and I was like, you know what, let me just take a 1 year pause on my program. And I was 20 years old, and I took a 1 year pause. I was like, let me focus on my business and see where this takes me, because I'm currently passionate about this. I'm loving it. Let's try to give it more focus. I did that, And I began to instantly increase my income by not being in school anymore, giving my full attention, got my income up and increased it. And since I increased my income, I didn't increase my expenses. Now, hand in hand with this, I'm of course moved back in with my parents. So I'm living back at home, don't have any expenses. I'm living a normal life. I'm still partying, I'm still hanging out with my friends, but I'm focused on my business in the hours that I'm not with my family, friends, or doing these activities. Still going out on weekends, enjoying life, but focusing on building a business. And this helped me tremendously. I continue to learn all the time. So I was reading books. One of my friends introduced me to self-help books, How to Win Friends and Influence People, when I was 19 in college, and became hooked. So I was reading all books on socializing, how to talk to anyone, a bunch of finance books, tons of investing books, a lot of real estate investing books, mindset, business books, and I began working with Grant Cardone. So throughout my childhood, I was always obsessed with money, Monopoly, poker. I just loved money as a kid growing up. It was one of those things. And I was very good at math. Naturally, I was very good at math. And I planned on actually going to school to be an accountant. That was the initial plan. Now, I was taking all these business courses in high school. And by the time grade 11 hit, I started working out because I was so skinny and I was fed up with how my body looked. And I had low self-esteem, low self-confidence. So I wanted to work on myself by working out. So I did that, built some muscle, and became passionate with fitness. So I was obsessed with learning everything I could to accelerate my own progress in my body. And like I said, I got into personal development in 2015. That was my first year of college when I was 19, 18 years old. 2016, I discovered Grant Cardone. I was still about 19 years old here. And I began, because I started reading his books, 10X Rule by Grant Cardone and How to Be Obsessed to Be Average. Great books to help me think bigger, help you focus on whatever you're passionate about and go all in on it. And he helped me tremendously because I signed up with him as soon as I got out of school. This is the key takeaway. I invested a lot into myself. In 2017, I paid about $1,000 to sign up for his mentor program when I only had a few $1,000s to my name. Like you saw, I had $3,000, $4,000 in my account, and I paid $1,000 to work with him. And in that, there was 1,500 videos, and we were required to watch 5 videos a day on finance, sales, getting out of your comfort zone, overcoming fears. So I was brainwashing myself with this new world, and I was exposed to his network of all these other people who signed up in the mentor program. And these are all successful business owners, and here I am just starting out. And he preached the rule right here. This is key, to save 40% of your income. He said, screw what all the books are saying. All the books are telling you, save 10% of your income and you're going to be wealthy. And he's saying, hell no, that's not going to get you there fast enough. I want you to save 40% of your income. And I took that to heart. I was like, I'm going to save as much as I can. I'm living at home. I'm going to save as much as I can. And I was averaging over 50% a year in savings for my income. And anyone can do this. So these are all applicable things that I did that can help you. I just really hope that you find some value in this and you're able to get on the right path here. Again, I have nothing to sell you. There's nothing to brag about. It's just, I want to help people improve their finances because I know so many people struggle out there. And if you don't have the right knowledge or take the right actions early on in your life, I know it's a lot harder later on. So I want to set you up for success as much as I can. And in 2017, I began automating my savings at $500 a week. So every single week, I'm putting away $500 into an online brokerage account. I'll show you how to do that later on. And in 2018, I went to Las Vegas for the 10X Growth Con. I was 21 years old. I flew for the first time by myself to Las Vegas to go to this business conference and meet all these other business owners, gained some clients there, met some contacts there. Again, massive thing, massive action I took outside of my comfort zone. I was scared shitless of doing this, but I knew, you know what? Like, fear is the indicator to move forward. Grant Cardone always told me that. So I averaged 67% savings rate from 2017 to 2020. It's pretty aggressive. I basically only pay taxes and I spent some money with hanging out with friends, going to music festivals. On the left here, I was 21 years old. That's when I was at that conference. Success is my duty at the top there. Right? And also what I started doing in January 2018 was tracking my revenue and expenses. Here's another tip. We need to see how much money we're bringing in and how much money is going out. What are we expending and where are those expenses? Maybe one month you spent a lot on fun. Okay, the next month, let's cut down the fun and put into other things. If you spent $2,000 on fun one month, you're like, okay, next month I'll just spend a little bit less. So the key is to have it segregated and tracked so you can see where the money's going. Then you can make the adjustments. I'm not saying cut everything out. I'm saying, you're gonna audit how you're doing so you can move closer, quicker to financial independence and freedom. So in 2018, I increased my income. So I began saving $1,000 a week, which works out to $52,000 a year automatically. This was stressful. I was only seeing a couple $1,000s in my checking account. Meanwhile, I'm sending this money off to an online brokerage account where I don't see it. I'm feeling broke. I'm feeling poor all the time. I know that next payment's coming out, but I know I'm investing in my future. It's all about delayed gratification. Same thing with your fitness goals. Same thing with anything that happens in life. 2018, I began working with a business coach on here on the right side. This is my business coach. And I went to the conference again, Grant Cardone's conference. I paid again. This time it was $3,500 I invested in myself. Then I had to pay for travel stuff on top of that. I also paid $3,000 for systems for my business. So I invested in myself and my business. I was reading tons of books. Today I've read over 110 books on mindset, finance, fitness, investing, day trading. I wanted to learn everything I could, socializing, and working with my business coach. Again, I paid him. He helped me take my business to the next level, helped me work on my mindset more. You know, I had some times where I burnt out, and it was very, you know, some down times, some rough times, but overcome it because I had the right systems, the right people around me, because I invested in myself. I promised myself, I said, Anthony, I'm not going to spend more than $2,000 a month no matter what, as I'm living at home. So I can enjoy myself, but not going to spend more than $2,000 a month. So all the income that I grow from there, I'm going to put that aside and save it more aggressively. Now, in 2019, September, I moved out. I'm in this apartment here, paying rent. Now, the reason why I'm paying rent is because I get better returns with my stocks. So I also own one property, which I'll talk about later, but I bought a car and I inflated my expenses. So now I told myself, because I got my income to a certain level, I allowed myself the freedom to say, okay, Anthony, you're going to keep your expenses under $5,000 a month, and you're going to save the difference as your income increases. So a lot of people would argue and say, you know, you increased your expenses too quickly, too rapidly. Well, I can decrease and I can scale back anytime I feel uncomfortable. So I have a lot of things set in place, like my cash cushion, enough invested, that I feel comfortable with where I'm at. If I don't feel comfortable, I have no problem scaling back. I have no problem selling some possessions. I have no problem decreasing my expenses and getting that down to $3,000 a month or so. But for now, it's okay. I'm okay with it being here because I'm happy with the rate that I'm saving and the rate that I'm growing my wealth. Now, here's just some proof so you can see one of my accounts. One of my accounts here is $360,000 in terms of stocks and cash combined. And my total return over the year was 197.7%. Now, here we are logged into my online brokerage account. I use Qtrade Investor. I live in Canada, and here is the actual live feed of the graph now. Back here is June 28th, 2019. We see the value is 121,000. And you see the trend here. Next month, 131, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit, up a bit. And we see more taking off. End of November, 150,000. Comes up to 250,000 by the beginning of this year. COVID happens. We take a big hit down to 189,000 at the end of March. And then from there, we recover back up to today, June 16th, 357,000 in these accounts here. Now, I also purchased a investment property, a condo that is being in development. It's being built. So I have 53,600 currently in that. So if we do the math, 53,600 plus the 357,759 here, that's 411,359. And then I also have multiple thousands in cash in checking accounts. That's where we're at in terms of today, June 16th, 2020. Real excited for the growth in the future. I'm really excited to document my journey just so we can learn together. So from 1 year ago, this amount here at the far left was 120,000. I had $120,000 in this account in June. And now June 2020, $360,000 in this account from various investments, Amazon, Tesla. We're to go into the details in the part 2. The 3 key lessons I personally believe I learned along my journey was to track my revenue and expenses, to focus on adding more value to people by learning new skills and add more value to help more people to increase my income. Because remember, income is a direct result of the value you give. So the more value you give people at scale, the more you can earn. Always think of it that way. The more you help people, the more you can earn. And the third thing was to automate my savings weekly to ensure that I saved. Because I experimented. I tried, you know what, let me try getting rid of this automated savings because it felt quite stressful at some point. So I was like, let me just take it off and I'll just save the difference? Well, I ended up spending more money and going over budget because I saw that money sitting in my account. So the key is to truly automate your savings weekly. Why weekly and not monthly? Because the more often it comes out, the less of a strain and less big chunk it looks like. It's more manageable. That's gonna wrap up part 1 of the video. In part 2, we're gonna go over all of the finances, all the investments I made, and how I actually truly grew, all in terms of numbers, from essentially 0 in college to over $400,000 in net worth combined investments. I really hope that you found some value in this. I hope you don't take this video the wrong way. I was really hesitant to share something like this, but I knew how much it could benefit a lot of people out there. So again, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. I want to help you improve your finances so that way you don't have to worry about your finances in the future. So if you're interested in building up wealth over long periods of time, then consider subscribing and follow along the journey. I'm going to share more about finance on this channel. Again, it's a huge passion of mine, so this focus is going to actually start to turn more to finance, and we're going to keep it around finance, mainly stock investing. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the channel so we can reach more people and help more people. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in part 2.